Hey guys, it's Steven. Got a Bytes chart update for you here. We left off on Monday of last week, and since then we've had a lot of volatility. So, just looking at the chart in general, we saw some nice spikes above the first resistance here, and then we came down and tested support on the central pivot for the week there, and then we got some news about the Neo Tokyo. Bytes will have some utility within the marketplace here. And that news really created this huge spike. And that later then got sold into. So although it's nice that we do have some new utility for the Bytes token, it's not necessarily going to be the answer long term. I think there has to be some more things to help push this token into overdrive, and maybe the Bytes 2.0, where we're going to be restructuring the tokenomics of the Bytes token might help. But right now there's just still a lot of sell pressure. So back below where we started the week, and just to just kind of check in on the macro and what's kind of pushing this here. We have the Neo Tokyo codes. We got the new updated site here. So a lot of cool things here with the news. Shout out to all the people that put in this work here. I think it looks really great. And just being able to, these people put out all this, they put in so much work into providing information to the community, and to be able to have this website and just come in here and get all these different get all these different articles here about NFTs and stuff. So there's just a lot of just a lot of really useful things here. And yeah, really cool to see this up and running here. So we got this new homepage here, pretty sci-fi and all that stuff. And yeah, pretty good. So this is the marketplace for the Bytes token. Basically, you can come in here and purchase some NFT whitelist spots. So pretty decent price, 25 bytes. I mean, talking about 50, 75 bucks, but if you can, make a good profit on these whitelists, and we get some really good ones, I think that this will be pretty cool to see how all this develops. So moving on, yeah, we also have this the whole trading, and you can kind of see where all the floor prices of all the different the different things here to build your citizens. So definitely check it out if you haven't yet. And let's just get right back to the charts here. So for this week, I went ahead and created this pivot chart just using the highs and the lows and the close. And we got this first central pivot at about 305 here. And we'll see if we get there. Overall, this doesn't look like we're going to be touching it this week unless we get some more news. So my bet is that we're just going to keep selling, possibly into this $2 range, maybe even lower. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. And I'm going to be kind of planning my liquidity pool around that. So I've had these 3 separate liquidity pools, and I went ahead and closed this once we got the news. And I kind of chase this a bit, and I definitely overpaid for the bytes here. So I really chased this when I really shouldn't have. I had some ETH here, but I do have some more. I have some more bytes that I want to buy. So I'm really gonna be loading up on these bytes tokens, to tell you the truth, because I still feel like there's gonna be more utility, and I feel like right now is just not a good time to be selling. And so if it's not a good time to be selling, I want to be on the other end, being the buyer of these tokens. So, strategy wise, I still have these 2 ranges, these liquidity pool ranges, and I'm going to want to accumulate as much volume as I can, so that I can get some income that way. And then if we do dip below this one here, I'm either going to create some another liquidity pool like I had here, or maybe I could always just buy directly from the LP. And what technically what that does is, because I own a pretty good percentage of this LP. So let's just pull this up on the liquidity tab here and kind of explain my thinking here. because I've separated my liquidity pools into separate things here, right? I have this one here and I have this higher one here. If this gets to my lower price, I can just buy it while it's within my liquidity pool. So I'm kind of getting my own fees back and I'm keeping the price within my range. So, because I am willing to invest a significant amount of money into the Bytes token, in a way I can kind of control where the price is. And that way, when there is volume, we did have a little volume spike the other day to 132,000. And so what that'll do is, when we have these, $1,000 days in fees, if I can, keep this, so let's just say it's do like $100 to $200 a day. Let's just assume we can get to, somewhere between 100 to 200 a day. If I can keep this liquidity pool within my range and I'm getting maybe 50%, I might be able to make $100 a day just by trying to keep the price within my range. So I'm thinking about doing something like that because I do have some funds that I can play with, but I'll keep you updated on how that all plays out. So just to check up on the Bytes holders here. So we got holders are definitely up over 40 here. And we got supply is moving up as well over the past week. So pretty cool that it's starting to move higher. Probably one of the highest holders that I've seen in a while. So that's what we need to see. We need to see people come into the ecosystem from outside of the community. And that is what we're starting to see here. And yeah, just to finish up on this chart here, looks like there could be support. Geez, almost 30% lower here. So gonna watch out for that on the liquidity pool and see if we can move that low or not. So it'd be about all the way to this low liquidity zone here. So we will see what happens there. And if you haven't seen the revert.finance, it's a pretty cool way to track your portfolio liquidity pool positions. And overall, we have this position that's been open for 18 days. You can see the prices that it's within right now. And right now, it's just about right in the center of that LP. And it's been getting some pretty decent fees here. You can see it's starting to get right into the center here. So maybe I'll get lucky and get some more just kind of bouncing around there. Pretty happy so far with the overall investment. And the way I look at this is the return on investment. This kind of just is kind of like a hedge, so that if the price does go up 17% from here, let me just pull up the calculator real quick. So, say we're at 240 and we move up 1.17. All right, so I'm kind of protecting myself to about $2.80. And then once we move above 280, that's when I can kind of basically, it would have been better just holding the token. So still in a decent position just to just hold and try to get this total return higher so that it's actually worth pooling tokens. So we will keep an eye on that. And then we also have this higher range, which has been open up over a week now, 34 days, and much higher return because it's been open longer. So that kind of affords me a higher upside to protect myself. So let me just check it in here. 2.4 times 44%. So 345 on the chart there until I kind of had this impermanent loss where it would have been worth just holding. So ultimately, that's kind of the goal, is I want to protect myself and give myself that upside. And that's what it's been doing. So checked in on this. This looks good. For the imposter's blood token, still moving lower. And I didn't really create this pivot chart just because it's just going to be so much lower. And there's just no action here. So I'm not really interested in really keeping up with what's going on here. But if something changes, I will let you know. And to finish off on the macro market, so a lot of really interesting things happening here. We're starting to see the interest rates rise again. And I would say that this is a little bit worrisome. It's not like we're moving up super fast. So, my whole saying and my whole theory on, how the markets are moving is as long as the overall bond market is stable, stock market can be stable. And until we have like this huge crash in the bond markets where interest rates are rising uncontrollably, until that happens, I would say that overall the stock market will do fine, and it'll hang there and there'll be opportunities. So looking forward here, if we can just kind of stabilize, we hit this high here, so we really need to have this be the low here. So um, who knows exactly where this will go, but you definitely need to watch the bond market. That's going to be very important. And, as we saw the money come out of the bond market, we had a green day to start off with in total. But, when you have this gap open in a sell, that's a very weak sign. So it appears, looking at the futures, we got a slight gap lower. So if we can just hang in, like this 15 to 20 is like the number that I look for, like 0.4%. If we can open up around there and have a gap down in the S&P 500, that will be a very bullish, buyable gap down. And and especially on a Tuesday, we call it turnaround Tuesday, where you can have some really nice moves. So if we can have that, I think we'll be setting up very well for not only stocks, but also the crypto market. So, and how this is setting up is, we had this kind of support, this obvious support and a breakout here. And when I saw that we had a pretty weak stock market, I tweeted out earlier that this was definitely ready to turn over, because there was just such a weak day overall in the stock market. And I said we'd have opportunity at about 29,700. So overall, this is very scary. This is actually a little bit too fast. This is like a very illiquid, looks almost like a rug pull here, but um, it still could be an opportunity. So for me personally, I am going to try to scale in very slowly, little positions here. So, I bought some right around this price here. I'm going to put some orders in under 28,800, and then kind of look at that 27.9 as kind of like a stop loss. So I'm looking at these lows for the downside, and then I'm looking for maybe having some upside here. So for me, I'm willing to take that risk right now, and we'll see how this plays out overnight and into tomorrow. So that's basically it. I guess I also showed that we had a chance to kind of break out towards this 1980 spot, but just overall weakness in the markets brought us back down to these lows. And we kind of have a similar setup here where it feels like it's a good risk reward to start laying into Ethereum here. So that's what I'm doing personally, just taking some small positions, and I'm able to have very easy stop losses here to take advantage of that. So that's all I really got for today. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you later.